Hey guys, for today's video I'm doing something a bit different from what I normally do. Today I'm not doing any gameplay stuff. I just want to talk about Super Smash Bros. Because that's a game that I play. I enjoy playing it. And, for those of you who don't know, Super Smash Bros. Has recently been putting out a lot of DLC fighters. And the last one is going to come out relatively soon. I believe that'll be the 12th DLC character for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is insane. That's a lot of DLC. But, yeah, the last DLC character's coming out, and everyone's speculating on who it is. I want to do something a bit interesting. I like making Super Smash Bros. Rosters that are the regular roster, but then I add other characters. I'm showing footage right now of one that I made, and this one is actually going to be the basis of this video. I'm going to go through with all the characters I added to this roster that are not actually in Super Smash Bros., and I'm going to talk about them. I'm going to talk about why I added them to the roster, and I'm going to talk about, yeah, just all these characters and why I think they might be interesting in Smash. Alright, so, the first character is Metal Mario. I think Metal Mario could be pretty interesting. Metal Mario has been a character before. He's never been playable outside of cheats and hacks and stuff. But I think it could be interesting. You could go two ways with it, obviously. You could just make him a really heavy Mario, which I think could be pretty interesting. Or you could just give him a unique moveset. Maybe make him more based on Mario 64. Mario doesn't have many moves based on Mario 64. He has his back throw, which is the spin throw he does to Bowser in that game. But besides that, I don't think Mario has any moves from Mario 64. Well, I don't know, maybe his backflip is taken from there, but besides that, I don't think he has any representation from Mario 64, so you could base Metal Mario's moveset more on that. That could be interesting. The next character is Toad. Toad, I think, would be really interesting. He's a pretty key Mario character. Yeah, I don't know, he's just a really iconic character, and I think he should be in the game. It makes sense for him to be in the game. I'm actually not totally sure why he's not in the game. Just because he's so popular, and I feel like it would make a lot of people happy. But yeah, I think he could be pretty interesting. There's a lot of things you could do with his moveset, just because Toads do all sorts of things. I've seen movesets that give him the propeller hat from New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I've seen movesets that give him, like, moves from side games, like Mario Kart and the sports games. Yeah, I feel like Toad is just a very diverse character that you could do a lot with, so I think he'd be interesting because of that. The next character, Waluigi. Waluigi is a character that a lot of people want in Smash. And honestly, I mean, I think he could be interesting. I feel like there's a few things they could do with him. Personally, I think it would be awesome if his final Smash was based on that DDR Mario game where he was the villain of it. Probably the biggest role he's had in any Mario game. And I just think it would be hilarious if that was his final Smash. Like, he just starts breakdancing and then arrows start flying up from the bottom of the screen and damage you. I don't know, maybe that's just me. I think that would be pretty funny if that was his final Smash. But a lot of people really want Waluigi. That's why I add him. Next up is Dry Bowser. I actually heard about a leak. I heard about this leak that was before Smash Ultimate came out even. And ever since then, I've just been really fascinated about this idea. The leak said that Dry Bowser would be an Echo Fighter based on Bowser, but he would have the moveset of Bowser from Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And that's interesting because Bowser in Brawl was very different from how Bowser is now. So that would actually be a pretty interesting character. And ever since that leak was obviously fake, but ever since I heard about that leak, I've just always been really interested in that idea, and I kind of want it now. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like a really cool idea. So, the next character is Kamek. Kamek, the Magic Koopa. I didn't really put a lot of thought into this character. I just think it would be cool. Kamek uses like all sorts of magic and stuff. Kamek can make people grow really big or change things into enemies, like blocks into Goombas or whatnot. So yeah, again, it's similar to Toad. I just think there's a lot you can do with the character that would be really interesting and unique to Smash. So that's actually a big part of when I think of characters that I think would be cool in Smash. A big part of it is, can they do something that is completely unique from any other character? I think uniqueness is really interesting when it's in Smash, so yeah, that's why I added Kamek. Next is something a bit interesting. It's the Koopalings. Now you may be saying, oh, well, the Koopalings are already in Smash. And they are. They are already in Smash. They're in Smash as alternate costumes for Bowser Jr. But I was thinking 9 characters, 8 if you don't count Bowser Jr., Echo Fighter. They would all be Echo Fighters of Bowser Jr. instead. I was thinking this would be interesting. Now, here's my idea. Is that they're all the exact same way they are now. They're just clones of Bowser Jr., except there would be 2 changes. One, because they're all currently just alternate skins for Bowser Jr., it makes some of the hitboxes and just models look wrong. The main ones I'm talking about are Morton, Iggy, Roy, and Lemmy. The other ones are mostly fine, but those 4 are kind of a problem because Morton and Roy are significantly larger than Bowser Jr., Iggy is like super lanky, and Lemmy is super tiny. So the hitboxes don't make sense for any of them, and with like with everyone except for Lemmy, their models look really they look really off because they have to be a similar looking model to Bowser Jr., so the hitbox makes some sense. I think they figured out how to do it good with Lemmy for the model at least, because they sort of have him like popping out of the clown car more. But either way, that's one of the 2 things I would change, is just make it so they all have the correct weight and models and hitboxes. I know they couldn't really do it with the alternate skins, because they have to all be the same mechanically, but if you make them Echo Fighters, you could do that. The other thing I would change is their final smashes. The Koopalings each have their own airship, and I think it would be cool if they implemented that in their final smash. So the basic idea would be they would call their airship, they would jump into it, they would fly into the background, and then shoot cannonballs into the foreground. And I was thinking that could be the same final smash for all of them, but they would do it slightly differently. So like, Larry would shoot all the cannonballs, and then maybe Morton could like shoot giant cannonballs that move slowly. Maybe Ludwig could use his magic to make them like ice cannonballs. I was thinking maybe Wendy could shoot cannonballs from the side instead of from the top of the screen. So basically, it would all be the same final smash, but it would have slight alterations, usually based on the character's personality. So I thought that would be interesting. Next, I'm gonna cover these characters both at the same time, just because they're related. Goomba and Dry Bones. So, a lot of people like making fun of Piranha Plant for being in Smash, because he's just a regular Mario enemy, and now he's a character in Super Smash Bros. I actually really like the idea of a random Mario enemy being a character in Super Smash Bros. I think there should be more. Hence, Goomba and Dry Bones. I think these two would work really well. Goomba, because Goomba is such a classic enemy. He was the very first enemy you encountered in Super Mario Brothers. Such a classic. And because of that, there's been so many versions of Goomba. There's Giant Goomba, there's Goomboss, there's the Goombas that jump around in the bricks, there's Tiny Goombas, there's Galoombas, there's Gloombas. There's so many different kinds of Goombas. Paragoombas, that it would make a really cool moveset if you just combined all the abilities of them into a single Goomba. And just made this Goomba have all the abilities of the other Goombas. It would make a really interesting moveset, I think. So that's why I put Goomba there. And Dry Bones I thought was interesting. Partially because I think the idea of a Koopa, just a regular Koopa being in Smash could be interesting. He could do a lot of interesting things, I think. So, like, he could maybe go into his shell and whatnot. And, on top of that, if you pick Dry Bones instead of just a regular Koopa, you can do even more things that only Dry Bones can do. For example, maybe you could have, like, the down special make Dry Bones collapse and become invincible for a few seconds. Kind of like the Dry Bone shell in Mario Maker 2, right? I just think those two enemies have a lot of potential. So if we are adding more Mario enemies as characters, I would pick those two just because I think they could be really interesting. Next one is Wart from the American version of Super Mario Bros. 2. I just like Wart. I'm gonna be honest. I just like the character. I like the design. I thought of an idea of how he could sort of be like a mesh between Bowser and K. Rool. Like maybe he could have some of the abilities from each. Almost even like an Echo Fighter that's a combination of the two. Like maybe he could take Bowser's Fire Breath, but instead he breathes bubbles, because he shoots bubbles out of his mouth. And maybe he could have K. Rool's Crown Toss, right? Maybe he could have K. Rool's helicopter move, but instead it's a Fly Guy who's flying him in the air. Because Shy Guys originated from that game. And are part of Wart's army, apparently. I just think it could be a really cool character, especially if you do that path where it's sort of like a combination Echo Fighter, and the Echo Fighter of two different characters. Kind of what they did with Chrom. How Chrom sort of takes a few moves from all the different Fire Emblem characters, and he's sort of a unique character because of that. Like, he takes some moves, like, officially, he's an Echo Fighter of Roy, but he takes some moves from Roy, he takes some moves from Marth, he takes some moves from Ike, kind of like that. You can maybe make him a K. Rool Echo. They haven't done Echoes between series yet, but it could be a cool idea. And then maybe he still has elements of Bowser. Alright, next character, King Babam. So, I think this character is cool, because unless I'm not thinking of someone, we don't really have a character that's entirely based on explosions. And I have a couple other character ideas that I'll get to later that will be primarily based on explosions. But I think King Babam could be really cool. I also like the idea of having it so he's like a tank. Like, he's almost impossible to move at all. Like, he would be very, very heavy. He would be by far the heaviest character in the game. Currently, that's Bowser. He would dwarf Bowser. Like, he would be so incredibly heavy. He would be at, like, 300%. And if he was on the opposite end of the stage, you wouldn't be able to kill him. He would be so, so heavy. It would be very hard to kill him. But the trade-off would be that he would also be by far the slowest character in the game. He would be so incredibly slow that it would be really difficult to get any attacks on at all. But of course, the attacks, if you do land them, would do a lot of damage. And maybe he could have a few attacks that are a bit easier to land. I was thinking maybe he could have a Babam move that would kind of work similarly to Bowser Jr.'s Mecha Koopa. Where he just throws a Babam and it lights a fuse and starts chasing people. But yeah, I thought that would be a really interesting idea as a character, just like a tank, where he's impossible to move, but also it's really hard to move him even if you're playing as him. Like, as soon as he falls off the stage, he'll just drop like a rock. He's so slow. Like, DDD has really slow hammer moves. Imagine that, but if that's the only moves DDD had. Like, just all your moves, except for maybe 1 or 2 weak moves, are just incredibly slow. I think that would be really interesting. Alright, next character. I just realized these next few are all Mario bosses, so maybe I should have covered them all next to each other. Oh well. Next boss. Mario boss that I'm going to be talking about in Smash is Piranha. I wanted Piranha since before Piranha Plant was revealed, and now that seems a bit less likely because he's part of Piranha Plant's final Smash, but I still think he'd be a really cool character. Now, the Piranha that's currently in Smash, as part of Piranha Plant's final Smash, is based on his Brawl incarnation with the cages. But I think if he were a character, it would make more sense to base him off of Mario Sunshine, because, as to my knowledge, that was the first game he appeared in, and I just think there's so much you could do with that. You could also maybe base some of his moves off his other appearances. He's been in Mario Kart, he's been in Mario and Luigi, he's been in a lot of games, so you could maybe base some of his stuff off of other appearances, but I think primarily it would be cool if you based it off of Mario Sunshine. So, like, you could have the tornado twister things that he uses in that game and whatnot, right? Yeah, I just think he'd be a really cool character. He'd obviously be very heavy, he'd be very large, but I think he would be cool. And not super likely, because he's Piranha Plant's Final Smash now, and that would be a little weird. But, I mean, Chrom is Robin's Final Smash, and he's in the game. Also, none of these characters are going to get in anyways. This is entirely just speculation, and just fun thinking about what these characters would do if they were in. Alright, next character, King Boo. I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. One of the most horrifying bosses in Mario. I think he could be really interesting, and he's a pretty iconic boss, being a staple of Luigi's Mansion. I just think it makes sense to have him in the game, just because he's so iconic, and there's quite a bit you could do with him. You could make him spit out the spike balls he has in Dark Moon. I don't know if he had those in the original Luigi's Mansion game. But yeah, there's so many things you could have him do. And just the abilities of Boo, like, you could maybe have something with phasing through walls, I don't know, but I think it would be cool. Alright, next up is Birdo, and this is the last Mario boss for a couple of characters, then we're going back to Mario bosses. I don't know, I just think Mario bosses would make really cool Smash characters, I guess. I don't know. But Birdo, so, this one I was thinking about, and I was thinking maybe you could make it so that Birdo was an Echo Fighter of Yoshi. Basically, the idea would be that it would be the same character, except Birdo would spit out eggs every time Yoshi uses his tongue. Like, for all the moves where Yoshi uses his tongue, instead Birdo would spit out eggs. And I think it would be cool if maybe they worked similarly to how they work in Super Mario 2, where they just sort of shoot in a straight line, and maybe you could stand on them like a platform, but if you got hit by them, you got damaged. They would obviously have to be faster than they were in that game, because they move so slowly in that game. Everyone would dodge the eggs if they were that slow, but I was also maybe thinking that for Yoshi's grab, because he uses his tongue, maybe Birdo could, like, inhale them. I don't know. I'm not sure if that would work. I don't even know if that's canonically something Birdo can even do, but I don't know. I was just trying to think of something. Maybe Birdo could just grab them, but I think Birdo could be an interesting character, whether or not they're a clone of Yoshi. I just think they'd be interesting. I feel like that's kind of a theme with these. I'm all of these characters. I'm just like, I think they'd be interesting. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna say that about every character. All right, next up, Gino. Gino, another one that's probably pretty self-explanatory. Gino is a character that a lot of people have wanted in Smash for a very long time. People have wanted Gino in Super Smash Bros. Since Melee. And Sakurai, the director of Super Smash Bros., has wanted Gino in Smash since Brawl. He explicitly said in Brawl that Gino would be a really cool character. So I don't even know how this character hasn't even gotten in Smash yet. Like, I'm just confused at how he hasn't gotten in, if everyone wants him in, including the director of Smash Bros. It's probably got something to do with the legality, considering he's owned by Square Enix. But, yeah, honestly, they just need to figure out a way to get Gino in the game. That would be amazing. There's really only a couple of characters, despite this long list of characters I'm talking about. There's really only a couple that I really want in the game. Like, I would be super excited for, and Gino is one of them, so yeah. I think Gino would be cool. A lot of other people think Gino would be cool. Sakurai thinks Gino would be cool. How is he not in the game? Probably Square Enix's fault, so. Next character, Paper Mario. Paper Mario. Again, not really sure how this character hasn't been in the game yet. He's a really interesting version of Mario, and currently we have 3 Links and 3 Samuses and only 2 Marios. So you gotta either add in Metal Mario or Paper Mario, and I think more people would probably want Paper Mario than Metal Mario, if I'm being realistic. So I'm just saying, you gotta balance it out. You can't have more Samuses and Links than you have Marios. That just doesn't make sense. Mario's the head mascot. If anything, you should have 4 Marios. Just add Metal Mario and Paper Mario. But yeah, obviously, Paper Mario, very iconic, very cool character, could do a lot. He has a hammer, so that could be cool. A lot of people have speculated that characters like Gino or Paper Mario could have, like, timing-based attacks. So, you attack based on lights that light up above your head or something, similarly to in those games. I think that could be a really cool mechanic for Paper Mario. Like, he does more damage and more knockback if he times it right. I just think it'd be cool. Next character, Dimentio, or Dementio. I still don't know how it's pronounced. I think Dimentio sounds cooler, but it could be Dimentio. I think it's probably Dimentio, but Dimentio sounds cooler, so I'm just gonna say Dimentio. This character, I wasn't really even thinking about being in Smash until, I watched a video by BrawlFan1, and, he has this series, What If They Were in Smash, where basically he does what I'm doing, except way more in depth. He goes through, like, an entire moveset for each of these characters. Each episode, he goes to a character and comes up with a whole moveset, including like victory animations and taunts and everything on how that character would work in Smash. And I think it's a really cool series. I've seen most of the episodes in it, and a couple of these characters on this list that I'm talking about, he has genuinely convinced me of. I wasn't even thinking about them, and then he just convinced me of them after I watched his video. So Dimentio is one of them. Dimentio is a really cool character, and BrawlFan1 made a really compelling argument for him. So I'm probably going to be linking the specific videos I bring up about BrawlFan1 and just BrawlFan1's channel, because he makes some pretty great stuff. So yeah, you should definitely check that out. It's mostly What If They Were in Smash. All those videos are good, but I think he also has a few other videos up on the channel, so definitely go check him out. Next character, the Elite Trio. So, yeah, this is not a character that anyone wants. I would say most people watching this video don't even know who the Elite Trio are. because it's random and very obscure. They are a boss in the Mario and Luigi series. I believe they've only appeared in Mario and Luigi Dream Team. I could be wrong about that. They might have appeared in another Mario and Luigi game. There's a chance they appeared in, like, Superstar Saga or something. But they've only appeared a couple of times at the most. Across everything. Like, they've just appeared a couple of times in the Mario Luigi series. But the basic concept is that they're army-based characters, but they're also the classic Mario villains. So there's a Goomba, a Shy Guy, and a Paratroopa. And they're named like Corporal Goomba and Sergeant Guy and stuff. I don't know their exact names. I know Sergeant Guy is one of them, but I don't remember the names of the other two. It might be Corporal Goomba. I don't know. But yeah, and they have some pretty cool things that they do in the games. So Sergeant Guy, for example, has like a giant bullet bill blaster, which could maybe be a Final Smash or something. I don't know. They have just an army of Mario enemies. They have a bunch of Goombas and a bunch of Bob-ombs and some Koopas and all sorts of things. I think it could be like a sort of character where it's like a 3-in-1, not like Pokemon Trainer, more so that they're all on field at once. Another mechanic they have in a boss fight, in Dream Team, is you have to kill them all on the same turn, or they wake each other back up. Like, if you just take out one, the other guys will, like, nudge them back awake, and they'll heal some health and be alive again. So you have to get them all down at once, so that they can't get back up. Which, maybe that could be a mechanic somehow. I'm not sure how you would implement that in Smash. It works a lot better in a turn-based game, but if you could, that'd be cool. And I was thinking this character could sort of just be like an army in a character. I think they had a really good chance of getting that with Olimar, but they didn't really do it very well. They did it decently in Brawl, maybe, but especially since they reduced the Pikmin size that you can have on field to 3 in Smash 4, they just didn't really do it great. Obviously, you can't have 100 Pikmin for every Olimar. That would crash the game completely with all those entities, and it would be ridiculous. But I was thinking, I don't know, I think they could have done Olimar a bit better to make him more of like an army-type character, and maybe they could do that with the Elite Trio. Who knows? Next is the viruses from Dr. Mario. I think it would be really cool if these characters were in, like, a totem pole style. No particular reason, I just think that would be funny. And, I mean, we already have Dr. Mario, we need Dr. Mario's villain, right? We need more villains. A lot of these characters I'm adding in are villains. Dr. Mario needs his villain, which is the viruses. I was thinking it could be the classic viruses, but maybe for some alternate costumes, you could have some of the newer designs. I haven't played any of the newer Dr. Mario games, but based on what I've seen online, there's apparently new viruses. There's like Dr. Luigi, which has all different viruses, and then I think there's a Dr. Mario mobile game that came out recently with all sorts of things. So like Dr. Mario, Dr. Wario, Dr. Luigi, Dr. Bowser, Dr. Peach, I think. And I'm pretty sure that also has new virus types. Obviously, for the classic, you can just do Chill, Fever, and Weird, which are the viruses' names. But maybe you could do some of those other types that I don't know the names of, for alternate costumes. I don't know. Hey guys, there were a lot more characters that I wanted to talk about than this many, so I'm gonna have to split this up into a few videos. This video was all Mario characters, but the next videos will be... they'll have a bit more variety, so make sure you stay tuned for those. And if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, all the good things, and I'll see you next time. Bye!